Hey, what's up everyone? Upstart here with RyXe Gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Now, in the previous episode, um, didn't do much. There was a lot of planning going on. What we did mainly in the previous episode was doing a lot of hard drive analysis in the MAM and pretty much get a bunch of alternative recipes that we needed so we can start getting our electronics factories, or at least our immediately necessary um, electronics factories working, which is the high-speed connector, the AI limiter, the crystal oscillator, and the computer. Supercomputer, don't exactly need it yet. We're at the point where we're almost needing it, but it's not immediately necessary. But it will be needed soon, so we're gonna have to deal with that as well. So the alternative recipes that I'm going to be using are the one I'm going to try out the one for the high-speed connector to see how that works out. Um, I'm going to use the Caterium circuit board. I'm going to use the computer. Apparently in game it's just called computer alternative, but it's the crystal computer, which is the one I'm using, because there's another one that's Caterium computer, I think. I don't know if it's still in there. I don't remember seeing it during these last few analysis. So yeah, I have that. I'm gonna have to add up just refineries and start bringing down lines, because I'm gonna need plastic and rubber down into those factories. So just off camera, I've been starting to set up things in those factories while I waited for this sulfur here to finish. And well, it's been done for a while because I've been over there just working. So let's just grab this sulfur analysis. So then I don't know if it's
Percentage of
Nobelisk.
sulfur in compounds is acceptable and can be extracted safely to create gunpowder-based explosives. The derived milestone can be found in Tier 4. Further research required for more precise use.
Alright, there you go. I forgot that. I don't remember if she was gonna say something. So Nobelisk or Nobelisk? I don't know. I would probably call it Nobelisk. But anyways, we would have to make that, but I don't really care for that right now. I'm just gonna add another hard drive because I forgot that there's one recipe I want. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get it right now. I want the silica. Just begin that. I want the silica alternative recipe, which simply adds limestone to the mix, but it's even though it goes through an assembler, it still makes it much faster. That's what I want. That's what I would want. And it said 4, right? There it is. Explosives. So we get 5 inventory slots, arm equipment slot, black powder, Nobelisk detonator, Nobelisk, and sulfur scanning. Okay. So this is pretty easy. All I need is rotors, and I have those not on hand. I don't have them in my inventory, but I think I have them. Where's my vehicle? I think I have them in there. Where they at? Where they at? There they are. So let's just do that real quick. We have everything on hand pretty much. Oh, I think I need a little bit more wire. Okay, my bad. I can just grab that. No big deal. And that, right? So we just need a little bit more wire. Do I have any more in here? I think I did, but I don't know if it's enough. Nope, I need 500. Okay, so let's just grab that real quick. I'm just gonna grab that real quick, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we're back. All I did was go to the cable factory. I also grabbed a bunch of cable because I needed that. Let's launch that.
Sulfur can now be used to craft Nobelisks. A remote detonator can be made in the equipment workshop. In anticipation for carrying explosives, R&D has inflated your pocket dimension and added an additional equipment slot. Note: close proximity of detonation is likely to result in suboptimal performance.
So pretty much telling me don't be an idiot and don't get blown up. Alright, so I wasn't planning on doing that milestone, but as it had additional inventory slots, I'm like, why not? Can always use more inventory slots, especially when you're taking on big projects, like I am right now. I just have like so many. Just throw that away. I have so many factories in the works. But anyways, I think that's about it right now. Yeah, we're still trying to get this. I'll just keep it up there. But we're not gonna get that anytime soon because we still need to get those computers automated. The heavy modular frames, I don't know if I'm gonna automate yet because I pretty much kept left my iron factory like kind of abandoned. I haven't touched it in a while. All I do is go and grab materials from it, but that's it. I don't adjust anything. I don't like rework anything of the my little assembly lines. Nope, it's all just as it was like, I don't know, 10 episodes ago. But anyways, since it's not immediately necessary, the heavy modular frames aren't that hard to make, even if I do them on like by hand, because I have pretty much all the materials like on hand, except for the steel pipes, which I don't have much of available, but I can still like get it much more readily than circuit boards. Not exactly plastic, but plastic is still also something that's, you know, way down there. So I've got all this. Yeah, I'm setting up all my factories right now, trying to get all the necessary materials like assembled in my mind. So I'm like thinking about how am I gonna like do with bring the plastic down, bring the rubber, and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty much all, like the main thing that I'm gonna be doing in this episode. Hopefully I can get all those factories up and running. Not hopefully, I'm gonna try to actually get it done. Not like in the previous episode where I pretty much just wasted a bunch of time getting my alternative recipes, but it's things that are necessary. Sometimes you can't always just be like building things, because you'll eventually get to a point where like, oh, I need this, so I need to go out and grab it, and you know, so I need, like, let's say I need an alternative recipe. So okay, I don't have any hard drives, so I need to go out and grab some, kind of thing that I did in the previous episode. So yeah, let's get to it, and more than likely I'll be back. I don't know if I'll be back when that hard drive is done, because I hadn't seen the silica alternative recipe, and I don't know if it's going to be coming out until I get to the next tier or something. It should have unlocked already, I think, on tier 4 or something. But anyways, I'm going to try to get my electronics factories up and running as best I can before coming back. So I'll probably be seeing you all, well, you'll see me in a little bit, but you know what I mean. I'll be back in a couple of hours, maybe several, I don't know. See you in a little bit then. Alright everyone, so I kind of miscalculated the time I would need to finish my factories, or more or less get them up and running. I calculated several hours. It took me a couple of days. It actually took me a couple of days to get what I have now running. So let me just start explaining. So I didn't think I was gonna have to add another line, another oil pump over there to start up a new line, but I ended up having to do so. So there's one down there. You can see where the conveyor belt where it runs down from. So I have that going on the second from the bottom line. The reason was because I needed, it was mostly to keep things organized. So let's get a little closer over here. So since most of the refineries here, or most of the oil I'm going to be using for fuel, more than likely, at least that's my idea or my plan, I decided to go grab the first 4, which would be from the first oil pump, split into 4. The first 4 to get like the plastic here. There's plastic there, plastic there. I think that's rubber, and this one doesn't have. This one isn't doing anything yet because I don't need it yet. So I'm only using 3 of the 4 available. So I got the second one, the second oil pump up and running because I wanted to start on the 5th one, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and then another 4. So it would be the 5th one, making the fuel, to power up all my fuel generators. Which I actually added 2 more fuel generators. So now I'm running 6 right now. It's not a lot because I actually couldn't make that many previously because of my limitations in getting the heavy modular frames and computers, but no more. At least not like it's not gonna be that difficult. I have things going on over there which we'll get to in a bit. So instead of having like at the end or somewhere in the middle, I just decided to keep all like plastic, rubber stuff, the other products that come out of the oil that is not fuel, which is pretty much just either plastic or rubber. So I wanted to keep those at the front, and so that's why I moved this towards the back. It actually looks a lot cleaner now with my big tower containers, industrial containers. So that's going in there, and one line is going all the way down over there, taking plastic and rubber, and the second line is this inner line over here, or outer, with fueling or feeding all my fuel generators with fuel. So that's that. Since the the oil refineries are kind of big, they're kind of large, they're kind of wide, so it kind of doesn't match up to where I would want it. But I make it work somehow, some way. I make it work. It's kind of a mess. This game is really a spaghetti hell for some, heaven for others, or that kind of thing. So that's mostly it there. Let us carry on down. So I decided to run the lines down, the conveyor lines or highways for the plastics and rubber along the edge over here, and instead of going all the way to that end over there, I decided to cut here because that is pretty much where my factories kind of like end, or their back ends are. So I decided to just go like in the back. So let's go down that way. That's pretty much why I started showing you guys the oil stuff, because we're gonna start from this side and then we're gonna make our way over. So we pretty much just all the way down. I don't want to fall, gotta be careful here. So before I start talking about the iron factory, which I not revamped it. I did do a lot of I did like a lot of editing in there. That chugging as the auto-saving. Okay, so this was my original platform or bridge that takes me down into the quartz. I'm gonna call it the Quartz Quarry down there, but more on that later. It's not really important. So it crosses here, and I just keep going. So the first one that I bring down, there's gonna be another one that I'm gonna bring down over here for the supercomputer one. Since I still don't need it, I think it needs plastic as well. But since I'm still not doing supercomputers, I haven't brought it down and I haven't brought the platform across. But here, this is like, let's say the first one that is, from the oil refinery this way. This side, I think this one is the one with the for the crystal oscillators, because I think it's using rubber or plastic. I can't remember. But I remember because there's a second line, and that one's bringing down the quartz, or the, what is it called? Quartz crystal from our Quartz Crystal Factory, or simply Quartz Factory down there that is also producing silica, but it's not producing anymore. I didn't put many containers to hold. So that's that. And then pretty much so on and so forth. I just keep going down. I think I can't remember if this is rubber or plastic, but this one I believe is the circuit boards. And then the last one over, gotta be careful, I don't want to crash or fall. This is the last one. Oh, no, don't fall. That was a close one. Okay, so there's like a little gas field here. I don't know if there's what's in there. I haven't seen anything. There's probably a slug or something, a power slug. And then this one is the high-speed connectors. So I have them. I didn't really calculate how big the manufacturers were. So because I never really used them before. So yeah, there's two manufacturers. I was gonna say factories. 2 manufacturers per floor. So that's pretty much. It was only gonna be 4. So it's 2 on one floor and 2 on the other. So I've got this whole conveyor spaghetti mess, you know, going up. Luckily, these lifts, conveyor lifts, kind of make it easier on us, or makes it easier on me because of the way I build these things. I'm probably gonna have to figure out or look into making my factories a different way, because I kind of like it this way, right? Because I try to keep everything as close as possible, as organized as possible, to their the required like resources, ingredients. I don't know however you want to call it. And so that's why I do it this way, but I'm probably gonna have to find a different way. But anyways, I decided to paint these. I don't know, I can't remember if I mentioned that I was gonna paint them, but I didn't want to keep them all yellow. I like to more or less color code them in a way that you know what it's in there. So this is a quick wire one, but it's not easy. It's not easy, easily visible, or can't tell that easily that it's quick wire. But, it's for those who know. This one is black and green, alternating, because there's the high-speed connectors, and I didn't want to do just 2 green for high-speed connectors and circuit boards. So that's going up in there. Let's take a quick look inside this factory. Yeah, I could probably make an easier way up to my floors with using like the jelly, these bouncing things. What is it, an organization? Yeah, these landing pads, these jump pads. I don't like using those. They're kind of dangerous. They'll probably kill me. So I'd rather just use the old-fashioned way, stairs. So the first one just goes in there. It's kind of ugly, but it works. Oh, these are topped out since I haven't added. Have I not? No, because I think high-speed connector is for the supercomputer, so that's why I'm not using it. So I haven't put my tower containers here, so it can start passing it over, and then just bringing it out. So this is not doing anything right now, but that's a full stack right there. This one as well. The one up top is pretty similar. I keep this at the edge so I can use so I won't have to go too far out. All right, another autosave. So I won't have to go too far out on my factories, because I don't like going using more space than I usually designate for these. But you can't have these perfect. So yeah, so that's that. Let's go down. No, I'll probably kill myself if I jump from there. Let's jump from here, which should be fine. Alright. Next factory is the AI limiters on the other side. Those are being used, so I hate when that happens. Sometimes when I just like jump out of my vehicle and it's still like moving, I think it bugs out and it stays like if it were like still moving, but it's not. So it just uses up your fuel. So doing that will probably just keep using your fuel even if you're not in it. But anyways, this is the AA limiter, so I think I'll just stop think like that it won't use it up. So here's the AI limiters, 4 assemblers, circuit boards, quick wire AI limiters. Boom. Since I can't remember which one. I think the crystal oscillator is the one using the AI limiter, so that's why I only have one tower, and that goes out and then it splits into 4 down over there. So back here, you know, you may have noticed, but I have a bunch of spaghetti conveyor belt highways going all over the place. You know, if they need to go that way, well, they're going like on one side, and if they need to go the other way, well, you know. Mainly the quick wire is the one that's coming down a lot. There's 3 quick wire. One is going into that one, and one's coming into this one, and one is going into maybe that next one. I forget. But anyways, that's doing its thing right there. Let's carry on. You know, so this is the highway that I have. It's pretty clean-ish. You know, it's not like the background over there. There's a bunch of conveyor belts. There's a lot here, but you know, it's kind of just not really like in the way. It's not all over the place. This one I had to add because I needed to add cable, because for the high-speed connector I actually decided to go for the regular recipe. I didn't use the alternative one because I thought it was just a hassle to bring the silica down just for that. And like I said, I think I did mention that I was gonna see if I was gonna need it or not, because if it was necessary, then to have, you know, a lot of high-speed connectors just being pumped out non-stop or like really fast, then I probably would use the alternative recipe. If not, then I'd rather stick with what I've got, because I know I'm gonna need silica for aluminum, and aluminum, you know, I'm gonna need a lot of that as well. You know, more higher tier stuff. So I have a line coming down of cable, you know, just on the, like in the background kind of thing. Oh yeah, I'm skipping this one, right? This is the circuit board one. No, pretty much the same setup as the AI limiters, 4 assemblers, but since 2 of these are using circuit boards, well, I have two towers for those. And I think one's going left and one's going to the right. This one is pink. Yeah, so the circuit board factory, I just decided to make full green. I would use a different color, a different green, but that green is like the best one available. There aren't many colors available here, so this kind of like your palette that's available colors. So you know, you got to go with what you got. Let me just keep that on hand. And this is the crystal oscillator factory. I kind of looked in, you know, how would I say this? I tried out 3 colors. I forget, right click. All 3 of these pinkish colors. One is like a pale pink, one's like a pastel pink, and one is a magenta or fuchsia kind of color. And I don't want to go too dark because crystal oscillators technically not very dark. I don't think I have any here. They're all going to the computer factory next door, so those are gonna stay. We're not gonna see any of those. Oh, always chugs on me, you know. Story of my life. But anyways, and then these will use manufacturers in there. Most of my factories, well, yeah, almost all of them, or almost none of them, are optimized, you know, let's say it that way. So yeah, crystal oscillators, that's full, because you know, this would be like the first one to the first container's tower, the second one to the second one, so on and so forth. You know, the one on this side, and on the next one, and then the one at the end would be that one. So that's why that one has that. We have crystal oscillators there. You know, kind of ugly. So this is where, what do we get here? We got AI limiters, we got rubber coming in, and we got quartz crystal. So that's not doing anything anymore. What is this doing? So this is working. This is topped out over here. It's kind of slow. Like I said, most of them or none of them are optimized. I haven't added any power shards to most of these things. The only things I added power shards to are the steel pipe production constructors down over there, and my fuel generators, of course. Because I think I didn't mention it, I forgot. I actually ended up using my 1300 or consuming. That's what my production. I had a production of 1300 more or less, and I pretty much used it all. I went over my limit. It spiked above it spiked over like by 2 megawatts, and that's what killed it. So I had to go and put more, just the two more fuel generators. So that's that, and I've added the three or maxed out their power shard capacity or their overclock, and so I have them at almost 2000. 19.7 k. Well, not 19.7 k, 1900 point 7. Because I still haven't removed my coal generators. They're still up there, and I'm like, they're not in the way really. So I'm like, yeah, I could just leave them there. All I needed to do, like I probably mentioned already as well, was remove their power shards. That's it. And speaking of power shards, so I've had around 50, 58, 60-ish. I didn't mention it in the previous episode, but I did turn them all into all my power slugs. I did turn them all into power shards. So that's why I have that many. Let's see. I crashed into that. Okay, so on my steel pipe highway, I'll call it that because it's all steel pipes. The two that I have there that are not full, right there, they're the ones for the encased industrial beams. The one at the top is actually going towards my manufacturers that I have with heavy modular frames, which I'll get to in a bit. And these three down here are just idle, not doing anything. I think two are for, or I think one line was the only one that was doing motors. The other two are also for the motor factory. But the only containers that I have up there with motor is already full, so that's why that's already idle. And these four, well, I want to make sure I get as many computers as I can. So I have these constantly working. Obviously, as I mentioned, they're not optimized, so they're pretty slow. These don't use manufacturers because I did use the alternative recipe for Crystal Computer. See what it says? It says it here, but it doesn't say it like on when you get the recipe. Circuit boards are pretty slow right now being made. Need to optimize things, need to speed them up, or if I'm gonna have leftover containers that are not being used for anything else, probably just connect it, merge it onto the same belt, and then just let it run down to that same one. Instead of having multiple belts coming down, it's probably good to just have one, and then just have that one distribute to all of them. But if it's more than 4 lines that I'm gonna have, then yeah, I would have multiple feeding lines. If not, then just have one, and that's gonna be into 4 other inputs, and then just connect to that same one, just so it can feed those same 4, kind of thing. So yeah, crystal oscillators. The pink on them is not, it's not that. It's kind of light, it's kind of pale. AutoSaving. Okay. So go slowly. It does only one at a time because it's like using very minimal what are they called, resources, but that's good for me. I like it. It works. I just need to go through everything and optimize, but for me, I think I like it and it works, so that's why I just go with it. Let's see. So next door would be, or kind of next door kind of thing. This is where I would have the Supercomputer Factory, but not exactly something super necessary. So I'm not gonna do it, at least not now, unless I see that I'm gonna really need it. But according to what I know, it's only gonna supercomputers are very minimally used, so I don't need to set that up right now. Computers, on the other hand, kind of need a lot of those. I don't think I have many here. I have a few stacks. Got two full stacks and one partial. I actually have this sticking out just so I can see what's on, like what is in there. Even though I already know, some stacks there, a couple more stacks there, a few more stacks there. So, I at least it's automated now. I don't have to do it by hand, and that can help me to get these milestones done faster because they just get harder and harder because they just need more computers. They need more motors. I don't care less for. Well, I got motors for days in those containers up there, and the heavy modular frames. So I had to make those. So what I did here, I kind of did all of them. Everything that's being like brought out or produced has their own container tower. So what I decided to do with this one, I wasn't gonna deal with it, but I'm like, you know what? I kind of need a ton of heavy modular frames. Let's do it. So I got to work on my iron factory. I didn't really move too much. Constructors pretty much stayed the same. All I did was like change up the recipes that were being made in each of them, so I can I organized it a bit. So what I decided to do is have one full container just for iron plates, another one just for iron rods, another one for just screws, and this one isn't like, it doesn't really have anything. It just has these three wires here because I'm planning to just get one and just get the iron wire recipe and just have that being wired, because everything else I don't have. Like the motor factory has wires, but it's not like directly, it's not something I could just bring out into a container by itself like this, because it's actually being used for something. So I decided to leave that. And then the cable factory, I could probably do it with that one, but I'm like, you know what, I might as well do it here because there was just 3 that are free, that are being used, and one that was like just flying. It was just hanging there, and like, what am I gonna do with it? It's not gonna be useful for anything else because everything else usually goes in pairs. So I decided to go with that. So then here I have reinforced iron plates. I've got one there, and modular frames here. I wasn't planning on doing this, but then I was looking into what I was doing. I'm like, you know what? I decided to do is just with the constructors making these, the plates, the rods, the screws. I just split them off with splitters, and then just made a single assembler and two assemblers, one for reinforced iron plates on one floor and one for modular frames on the next one. Pretty much where the whole assembly line is for the reinforced iron plates. That's where the extra one is at the end, and then for the modular frames, same thing. So these are all heavy modular frames. I have 4 manufacturers up top, like way up top, and they're even, this factory is even higher or even taller than my 7 container tower stack thing, whatever you want to call it. So I have all these producing, so all the way to that last one, they have it sticking out just like this. And I don't have much, but together they're kind of a few, they're a bit, it's something. That's what we could say, right? It's something. So let's go up real quick. This is a big tower. Just let that autosave do its thing. It's a big tower, so it's got like what, 5 floors? 1, 2, 3. No, it's just 4, and the bottom, I think. So here are the constructors. This is how I have it split up. I have a bunch of conveyor lifts just taking stuff up on either side. Same with the so these are the first 4 that are just like for random things, kind of, the iron wire, which is gonna have to go there. I don't have the iron wire factories, the iron wire alternative recipe, so I just had that there just as a placeholder kind of thing. So that's screws, rods on that one, and then plates. So what I decided to do was go for technically I'm still using just the original recipes, the original modular frame and the heavy modular frame recipe. I do have the alternative reinforced one, but it's better to use the the one with the iron wire and the stitched reinforced iron plate. Um, but I don't want to get into that right now. So I just wanted to get it like operating. I didn't even care. I'm like, you know what, just set it up with what you got. That's what I said to myself. So I have one producing screws. I think it's using the alternative recipe, alternate screw recipe or something, whatever. And I just got that going straight up all the way to the manufacturer. And then this one is the plates. This one is going into the reinforced. No, actually, I think I messed up. This one is the one going into the reinforced iron plate. This screw one. This one's also going to the reinforced iron plate. This is the iron plate one. The next one is the rod. That one is going into the modular frame assembler. And then this one, this is also a screw one, and this one is the one that's going all the way up. So I have a screw at the end going to reinforced iron plate, a plate in the middle going to reinforced iron plate assembler, next floor, and then the rod here going all the way up to the modular frame, and then this screw assembly or screw conveyor belt going all the way up to the manufacturer. And that's pretty much how I have it all the way down. They're in like, well, I don't know if you can call them pairs, no, but they're in sets. I'll call them sets of 4 doing that. And then there's just my thing here with the reinforced iron plates, I believe. And then that's just my old container with stacks of modular frames. And then here are my assemblers. These here are for reinforced iron plates, the alternative recipe, the regular one. So what I have going up is the rods going onto this one, and then just going straight across, and then feeding into the modular frame one through this side, because since I already have one feeding from this side, and I kind of wanted the other one going out, the modular frame one going that way to feed into the manufacturers all from one direction. That's why I kind of have it doing this. It's going up. It's all a mess, so it works at the very least. It took me a while to figure out how I was going to do it, because it's just so all over the place. So this is the modular frame one. So this is the front. This is where the exit out. So this is the input. So this is where that the iron rods are coming out from. The ones that are going across the whole floor on the bottom one, all like on the ceiling kind of thing. This one should be the reinforced iron plates. But like I said, things are not optimized, so things are just going slow, super slow. But things are getting done, even if it is slow. You spend a lot of time in this kind of game, or at least in this one. And so, yeah, that's what's going on there. And then for heavy modular frames, I required the encased industrial beams and steel pipes, so I had to bring an extra line down. And it's pretty much coming. The encased industrial beams are, just got one of the containers, brought it out, and then ran it down this way, and brought it straight up here, and then did a whole bunch of shenanigans here with my what are these called? I forget now. Conveyor splitters. Yeah, conveyor splitters here, and doing all that stuff. I have 2 sets of conveyor splitters, one for the encased industrial beams and one for the steel pipes that you can see up there. So the steel pipes, as I mentioned, I brought it down on the same highway as the other ones, but I just put it on the top. And I brought it down and brought it across over here, and then straight up with conveyor lift and into there, and pretty much the same thing happened here as the encased industrial beams. So I got those connected on one side. It's kind of a mess here, as you can see. But I have steel pipes in here, encased industrial beams there. Here are the modular frames, supposedly, and well, the screws that come straight up from the bottom from my constructors. So that's pretty much it. Four manufacturers all doing their thing, and yeah, so they're higher. This floor, this last floor here is higher than my tower, as you can see. So I had to kind of bring it down a little bit to put things in there. So yeah, I think that's about it that I really need to address that I did over these last couple of days. So yeah, it took me quite a while just to get these set up, but we finally got it done, and we finally got our stuff automated. So it would be nice to get the jetpack, but we probably gonna have to wait for, not just the jetpack, but we're gonna have to do a lot of other stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's head over to the space elevator real quick before I end the episode, because we're about that point now. We're going way past the time that I would like, but still things to talk about. So it's my old container here. So it needs 1,000 heavy modular frames, probably gonna take a while. 1,000 computers, also gonna take a while. Motors, I actually have more than 1,000 already. I have 2 containers, 2 of the small containers full of that, so that's not a big deal. But yeah, to unlock tier 7 and tier 8. So that's probably something we're gonna work on. Maybe on the next episode we'll work on this. Optimizing is probably one of the main things we're gonna be doing in the next one as well. We're gonna try to get as many of the materials we need for this one. If not, we'll just keep going on the milestones that we have, especially the jetpack one, because it could be useful. I can't remember, but I think the jetpack one comes with expanded inventory, I think. Let's check it out real quick. Yeah, 5 slots in the jetpack. So this would definitely be easier to do. These as well, not so hard. And yeah, not so hard anymore. I could do all those. Except for the space elevator. I forget what it's called. Tier, objective, milestone, whatever that is. Yeah, that's gonna take a long while. But this kind of game is kind of where you can just, it's kind of, how do I explain it? You can just leave it idle, do something else. You just have it just running. Because I've been doing that as well. While I'm doing other things, I just have it running to get my materials, stockpiled and stuff. Because we're gonna need it for sure. But anyways, that's all for now. I don't know what to do with the hard drive that I've finished analyzing right now. I'm probably just gonna leave it to the side, keep it throw it to the back of my mind for now, but just focus on the milestones in there and getting my materials, all the materials I need for the space elevator. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe if you want to see more. Hit that like button if you liked the episode, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.